Hello, fellow brothers and sisters of SEIU Local 503. My name is Avery Horton, and I am a home care worker. The teleconference that the board of directors had about this member privacy and democracy vote was a sham. I have asked, requested, demanded equal time, equal access, equal allocation of funds for all sides of this issue. The yes vote side and the no vote side. You received a ballot in the mail that once again contained reasons to vote yes, but it didn't contain reasons to vote no. Now, how does that strike you? Does that seem fair? The union loves to throw around that word, fair. They're always talking about paying your fair share. The whole thing about corporate taxes. They're not paying their fair share. Well, to me, it's really interesting when one group wants to say another group isn't being fair when that first group isn't fair in the first place. First, let's look up the definition of fair. Okay, we got Google here. In accordance with the rules or standards, legitimate. Well, some of the things that the board of directors have done regarding this vote, I don't think, in my humble opinion, are in accordance with the rules or standards of our bylaws. Okay? Now, without cheating or trying to achieve unjust advantage. Well, when you control the medium, then you control the message, and that gives you an unfair advantage. They control access to the member list. I requested access to the member list so I could get information to you on why I believe you should vote no. They have blocked me. Does that seem fair? I mean, the one thing you have to understand, the issues now are much larger than vote yes or vote no on this issue. The issues we have to deal with now are board of directors that aren't acting in accordance with the rules or standards in the bylaws. They are not being fair. Now, you might wonder, what bylaws? Well, you see here we're on SEIU Local 503.org. If you put bylaws in the search, then you get here, and if you scroll down a bit, SEIU 503 bylaws, right here, 2014, updated, November 2015. So let's just take a look at these bylaws. Okay? And you see here, member Bill of Rights on page 5. Well, let's come down here to page 5. Here's page 3. Whoops. Maybe I'll just use the page down button. Member Bill of Rights. The right to have opinions heard and respected. Well, they're not giving they're not honoring that right. They're just not. Okay? They are just not. The right to have members' concerns resolved in a fair and expeditious manner. No, they're stonewalling me. They're stalling. You see, right here. All members of the union shall have and may freely exercise the rights of union members. But they're not doing that. They're not allowing that to happen. Okay? Now, if we search for the word equal, let's see what we have. Okay, this right here is all about candidates. Bill of Rights. Okay. Equal rights. These are our rights right here. To attend membership meetings and participate in the deliberations. Well, in the teleconference, they didn't do that. They didn't give the no vote side their equal rights. And you have to wonder why. Let's see. I think there was another word, respect. Once again, the right to have opinions heard and respected. Well, they're not respecting this for the people who want to vote no. They are violating our own bylaws. Okay, the responsibility to recognize and respect the interest of all union members when making decisions. Well, they're not doing that either. Okay, committees. You see, they're basically violating the bylaws in this whole voting farce, because it's not fair by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, how can they call it fair? They sent out a mailing, which they didn't follow the rules for doing the mailing. That was the first thing. Then they were going to have a vote by mail, and then they canceled that. Then they came up and they decided to have this vote by mail. They, in every case, they have included reasons to vote yes, and they've excluded the reasons to vote no. How can anybody call that fair? How can anybody call that ethical? Now, let's exit these bylaws. And I think there's something called the Code of Conduct. Let's see. It doesn't look like it's coming up here. Okay, let's see if I can find it. Oh, benefits. Let's go back to the home page. Let's try board of directors. I already have it on my computer, but I wanted to find it again so you can look it up for yourself. Maybe it's on this page. No. Now, you see, if I'm having trouble finding the code of conduct, then there's something wrong with this page. It's not designed very well. Okay, let's see. Quick links, bylaws. I think we've already been here. Except this one's updated 10.14, so this is a newer one. Let me do a quick search here for equal again. Okay. Every active member has all the rights of union membership and has equal rights and privileges within the union. Well, once again, we have not been treated equally, those of us who want to vote no. I think maybe in here there's something about the code of conduct. No. Maybe it was ethics. Code of ethics. Here we go. And if you read the code of ethics, you might wonder, are the board members acting ethically? So you just scan through here. So once again, in the bylaws, we have our Bill of Rights here on page 5. Now on page 6, it says misconduct of members. Okay, now, engage in corrupt or unethical practices. Do you think using the money from membership dues to hold an election or a vote and not present both sides equally, do you think that's unethical? Do you think that's corrupt? I want you to make that decision. Making false statements, that's subject for another video. My fellow union brothers and sisters, thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and once again, please vote the way you want to vote, not the way union leadership tells you to vote.